Okay, where are we? Alrighty. Share group. Group. Share. Alrighty. So, good evening, everybody. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. I'm very excited to be doing this, showing you guys some of the new product. For those of you that don't know, my name is Tenille. I am a director with the Pampered Chef. I have 3 sons and a husband here at the house. So when it comes to cooking, we do quite a bit of it in this household, or I guess I should say I do. But I do also like to teach my boys how to cook. I figure if there's anything I can teach them for the future to offer to their future wives, it's the cooking end. So at least they'll know how to do that. Tonight we're going to go over lots of things that is going to basically make your life so much easier in the kitchen when it comes to cooking. So we're going to cover cookware. We're going to cover our new quick cooker, which is a pressure cooker. We're going to cover some other fun new products that just came out March 1st that have been very popular since they came out. Only been a few weeks, but I've already sold a ton of them. That will make our dessert. That's our waffle puff pan. And we're going to also be using some of our cutting tools as well. So you're going to get a wide variety this evening of things that will help you out in your kitchen. If at any time you have comments or questions, please go ahead and just post them under the video. And when everything is done, I will go back and review everything and answer any questions that you may have. So again, thank you for joining us. Thank you to our hostesses who are having this live demo party. At the end of this, if you're like, man, that's a great way to have a party without having to worry about cleaning your house, and you want to do your own party and get your own free product, then just shout out to me and I'll be more than happy to get you on the calendar and we'll get you set up. So the first thing we're going to start with is our quick cooker, which is right back here actually. So this came out last fall, and it is one of those things I like to call a game changer for your kitchen. So if you're familiar with something called an Instapot, a pressure cooker is the more general term for it. This is ours. It is called the quick cooker. We do have 16 pre-settings on this, so it's basically like turning, having a crock pot on crack essentially, because everything you do in a crock pot you can do in this, but you can also do so much more because of the 16 different pre-settings that we have. You have a searing setting, you have a steaming setting, you have a slow cooker setting, and ours actually even proofs bread. So when you're trying to get the bread to rise, this is going to be great for that. It does chicken, and it does beef, it does seafood, it does soup, stocks, it does white rice, it does brown rice, it does whole grains, quinoa and such. It will do beans. One of my favorite things to do in this is homemade pinto beans. And I used to never make homemade pinto beans before I got the quick cooker, which are actually much healthier for you to eat. And if you cook them that way instead of buying them in the can, because anything that you buy in the can, such as that's pre-made and pre-seasoned, is going to have just a ton of preservatives in it. So if you're looking to maybe take a step in a healthier direction for your family, this is going to be one of those things that's going to help you out in that department. It also does stews and chilies, and it does desserts. So we actually have a cheesecake recipe that comes with the recipe booklet for it. Does homemade pudding, does cobblers. So lots and lots of options that you can do with this quick cooker. Wanted to show you what you're going to get when you get the quick cooker. You are going to get this thing here. Is basically the Bible to the quick cooker. Love you too. So my son's leaving, and sweet boy just told me he loved me. Isn't that nice? So quick cooker guide. This is going to have everything you need to use your quick cooker. It is step-by-step stuff. So it's like on the first page here, it shows you what vegetables, how long to cook them for, what fluids to put in them. On this first page here, you've got beans and legumes. It gives you the exact times on cooking certain kinds of beans. And it tells you here as well, rice and grains. And then a couple pages more, you've got your meat and your poultry, and it's going to tell you how long to cook them for, whether they're thawed or how long to cook it for if it's frozen, and whether it's beef or if it's seafood, if it's poultry. So you have everything you need right here. It comes mailed with it to use it. So instead of buying something that you're wanting to invest into your kitchen to help out the way that you cook, and leaving it in the box because once you order it, you go, I don't really know how to use this, right? Well, you're not going to have that problem with this. And that's one thing I love about Pampered Chef is the fact that they give you everything you need to use what you choose to invest in with your kitchen. So whether it's our cookware or it's our quick cooker or it's our cutting tools, our rock crock line, you're going to get everything you need so that you actually use it. So raise your hand, say hi in one of the comments if you've ever purchased something and then went, I don't use it, Tenille. And I don't want that to happen. I'm not here to sell you something and that you're not ever going to use, because that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to, one, start eating in your house more often, save money that way, which is a huge deal these days. Too many people eat out, which means you're not eating healthy, and the other thing is means you're probably spending too much money on eating out. So if you're willing to do a little investment into your kitchen with some of our products, I can have dinner on your table ready to eat in 20 minutes, honestly. So that's what I love about our product. And everything I show you tonight is going to be one of those things that helps you out with that. So we're making homemade mashed sweet potatoes in our quick cooker, and it's just mind-blowing because it usually takes about 5 minutes for it to come to pressure. And once it comes to pressure, that's when those cook times are going to come in. So our sweet potatoes are going to be done in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's insane, right? And everybody, if you have cooked sweet potatoes before, you know how long it takes sweet potatoes to cook. So being able to do them in 10 minutes in this bad boy is just mind-blowing. So I've already peeled and cubed up a couple of sweet potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and peel one in front of you because I want you to see this amazing peeler. This is our serrated peeler. Now, most of the people are used to just regular vegetable peelers, but what I can tell you is this is the all-in-one peeler. It'll do tomatoes, it does apples, it does potatoes, sweet potatoes, so kiwi. So no need to actually go out and have two separate peelers. This bad boy right here will do it all, right? So let me show you. You just go down. I like the motion of pulling towards you instead of pulling away. It gives you more control over those peelings. And just like this. I mean, it's super fast, very easy, dishwasher safe. I probably sell more of these peelers than any other peeler that we offer in the catalog. So just smooth peeling here, and voila. Now I'm simply just going to take our sweet potato, cut it up into about 1-inch squares, and then throw them into our quick cooker with a little bit of fluid, some butter, some of our French toast seasoning, which, by the way, I have to tell you is phenomenal, and every kitchen should have it because it's got maple flavor in it. It's just, I mean, you can just put it in the palm of your hand and lick it. It is so good. So let's get this bad boy cut up. We're going to be using one of our new lifetime guarantee knives. This is our 8-inch chef's knife. So, and what's nice is they give you a guide. So right here on the blade, you'll see a circle that has PC on it. That is for your thumb. So a lot of people don't know how to hold knives. And I love the fact that Pampered Chef gives you a guide to do that. So we're simply going to use the pinch grip. That's what it's called. Thumb here, finger here, pinch the handle. And we're going to first start off by cutting the sweet potato in half, long ways. And then we're going to go back, cut it in half again, each half. And then from there, we will cube it. So a great knife is essential for your kitchen. I know Jamie out there loves her knives, and can you believe it that we've actually updated them? So very much like iPhones and iPads and computers, technology gets updated on everything, including stuff in your kitchen. So we take our lid off, and now we're going to throw in the rest of these. We're going to add in a little bit of chicken broth because the important thing when it comes to using our quick cooker is you've got to have at least 1 cup of fluid. That's what allows that steam to build and the pressure inside the quick cooker and to cook your food. So that's the general rule with a quick cooker is 1 cup of fluid. So I have 1 cup of chicken broth. Now you can use vegetable broth. You can use water. You can use apple juice. I don't have any apple juice on hand, but the chicken broth's going to be fine. But you know what I do have on hand is some apple cider. So we're going to throw a little bit of this in there and give it that nice little apple taste. Just about a half a cup. Alrighty, and then I do have a half a stick of butter already in our sweet potatoes here, and I am going to pour in some of our French toast it's called French toast popcorn seasoning, but it's not just for popcorn. I use it in my apple pies. I put it on my carrots, my sweet potatoes. It really can go at waffle mix, pancake mix. If you're making French toast, put it in your batter. So there's just so many things that you can do with this one seasoning. And I wish you could smell it through the computer because it is so good. So definitely add that to your wish list. If you don't have a pen and paper near you or your phone out or something where you can make notes, definitely make notes because you're going to see a lot of stuff tonight that you're going to want, and you're not going to want to forget any of it because if you're like me, you've had children, your memory lasts about 10 seconds, right? So with that being said, make really good notes. So grab that pen and paper and write down the French toast seasoning as well as the quick cooker. So you can sprinkle however much you like. I am not afraid of this seasoning at all, so I just kind of, pour it in there. Now we put our lid on. You'll hear a nice little music sound so you know that it's on and closed. And we are going to make sure all the buttons are down. This is where the steam is released. There is a red button here on top of it. When that red button pops all the way up to the top, you know that you are at full pressure, and that's when you will actually see the timer here start. We're going to set it to steam, so we just turn the dial until we see it light up on the setting that we want. And then I'm going to do this for 10 minutes, so it automatically sets it for 15, so we just push time, and I'm going to hit the minus button, and we're going to go to 10, and then we just hit start. And right there, it's going to start building the pressure and start cooking those sweet potatoes. So we've got that ready. So the next thing we want to do is get stuff ready for our double burner grill pan. Now, this probably is my most favorite product in the entire catalog. I sell a ton of these. This is also one of the #1 reasons why people host a party. The double burner grill pan is something that actually goes onto, as you can see here, it goes over 2 burners. Can you guys see that right there? So it will do so much food at one time, and you can do your chicken and your vegetables all at the same time. You can do fish. I grill fish on this all the time. Shrimp. Shrimp takes about 2 minutes to cook. It's really, really fast. You can also do grilled vegetables. You can do pizza. I have a beautiful picture of a pizza I did just last week, actually, with the pizza dough. I just grilled it on one side, flipped it, and then I put, I actually didn't even use a tomato sauce. I just used sweet peppers with some fresh garlic and some olive oil, pureed it in our manual food processor, and used that as the sauce bottom, saving some calories there, basically a fresher sauce, and to me a better tasting sauce. And if anybody out there, I know this sounds crazy, but if you've got heartburn issues and tomatoes or tomato-based stuff kind of gets that going, then this is a great alternative to a sauce for a pizza instead of using something like that. But I'll post a picture out there of that pizza because it was absolutely beautiful and my kids tore it up. So I do everything kid tested basically because I do so much cooking. I create so many recipes, and I like to give that feedback to people saying, no, my kids have eaten this. I do have one kid that's actually very, very picky. My other 2 though are actually fairly open to my dinners. So here we go. We do need to go ahead and preheat our double burner grill pan. So it is over 2 burners. Now this is set for even heat distribution, meaning that the material it's made out of is actually going to, it's not aluminum based. So that's important for people to know because, as I get this on the right setting here, that's important for people to know, I feel like, because with aluminum, you'll notice that with typical cookware, that you'll have something that cooks hotter in the center of the pan versus on the outside edge of the pan, and that's not the case with our cookware. We design our cookware so that the heat actually not only is on the base of the pan, but that it actually climbs up the walls of the pan also. So even if you're talking about a saucepan, if you're talking about a skillet, that heat is not going to just be on the base of the pan, but go all the way around. So it's going to basically cook cook your food all the way around the entire pan, not just what's sitting on the bottom. And that's a really important thing to note. We do have our grill presses inside of our pan, and we do that on purpose. We want to make sure that we are preheating the presses while the pan is preheating, because when we put our chicken in, we're going to start cooking the top of the chicken at the same time we cook the bottom of the chicken, allowing for a faster cook time. So this evening, our chicken is actually going to grill in 6 minutes. 6 minutes. You can't have charcoal at the right temperature in that amount of time. You don't have propane to worry about. You don't have to worry about whether or not you've got wood pellets outside, if it's freezing outside, if it's hot outside. You can do all of this in the comfort of your kitchen. So this pan is definitely worth the investment. So again, double burner grill pan with the 2 presses. We currently have them preheating. Now, I've already prepped some of our sweet peppers. That's what we're going to use on the back side of our burner grill pan. We're going to grill some sweet peppers along with our chicken, because I'm going to have a nice little sauce that's going to go over our chicken breast. And I've saved 2 of them to show you. So we're going to take our knife here and we're going to just cut the ends right off. And then we're going to come over here and I want to show you about this little tool here. This is called our cornbread. Now we're going to use this again in a little while to basically take the tops out of our strawberries. This will go right inside this pepper and take out all of our little seeds. So this is great for jalapenos. Like I said, this end here will just scoop that stem right out of the strawberry, so you're not cutting off the top of the strawberry and wasting some of it. This end here is going to be great for melon balling, removing the seeds out of certain things like zucchini and squash and cucumbers. So a nice little handy tool to have in your kitchen. Again, it's called a core and more if you want to add that to your list if you're making really good notes while you're watching. All right, so just that easy. We cleaned everything right out of the center of that because we're going to grill these whole. All right, so that's ready. Now, I did get our chicken ready. As you can see, our chicken breasts here are very flat. And I did that on purpose because chicken breasts especially are they're really thick at one end and really thin at the other end. So what happens is we have a tendency to overcook the thin end while we're waiting on that thick end to finish, right? I think we've all had that issue before. If you will flatten your meat out before you cook it, it cooks in much quicker time. It cooks evenly. So you don't have to worry about one side of your chicken being more cooked than the other. And doing that, I used our meat tenderizer / flattener. And the flat side here is for white meat. That's your chicken and your pork. Now, if you unscrew it, all right, like this, and flip it over, then you've got the tenderizer part that you can see the spikes there. That is going to be great for your venison and for your beef. So again, spike side is red meat and your flat side is white meat. So that's how you remember that. And I just do everything in a baggie because it kind of keeps your meat contained, so you don't have to worry about getting all crazy on you and flying everywhere. So I put the chicken in here. Tonight we're using our smoky barbecue rub. Love that one. It's one of my favorite ones. It's got such great flavor. The good thing about our seasonings is they are MSG free, they're gluten free, they're non-GMO. So they are very, very healthy for you. In fact, a few years ago, they completely redid all of our seasonings so that they were healthier for you and could fit everybody's dietary needs. And the flavors didn't change, which is really nice because, you know, sometimes when you're giving up some of that stuff, you're giving up some of the flavor, and you're not with our seasonings. Plus, our seasonings actually contain about I would say 50% less sodium than the ones that you find at the store. So anyway, here we go. So we just put your chicken breast in here and hold it like this. I like the fact that you don't have to, flick it like a hammer. And you go down and out. So you're going to basically pound and push is what I tell people to do. Pound and push. And the reason you do that is because if you were just doing this all the way around, you would actually have little pockets of meat thicker than the rest. So by really pushing it like this, you're making sure that the chicken breast is the same width all the way across. So you really have even cooking all the way across. All right, so that meat tenderizer is a great companion for the double burner grill pan. I highly recommend it to go hand in hand with it. And so our pan it takes maybe about 5 minutes for this to preheat. Here's the thing, the double burner grill pan works on gas stoves and it works on electric stoves. If you're using an electric stove, it can be flat top, or it can be the coil element. And the gas stove, just know that gas usually cooks a little hotter and a little quicker. So you may only need to go to about a medium heat when you're preheating this pan and cooking on it. If you're using an electric stove, you may need to go closer to a medium high heat because it doesn't cook as hot as a gas stove does, right? So, yeah, pound and push, that's That's right. So, then there's other things that I do on here, like bread items. I mentioned a while ago that you could how I put the pizza crust in here. So one of the things I love to do is grilled cinnamon rolls. I just take them out of the can, I flatten them to they're about, I don't know, a ½ inch, and then they will grill, and then we flip, and they grill for 3 more minutes. So 6 minutes I have grilled cinnamon rolls, and in the double burner I can do 16 cinnamon rolls at one time. So it doesn't take nearly as long as it does to cook them in the oven, and that's much quicker, and you don't have to worry about your house getting all hot if your oven's on. So I just, when I tell you I love this pan, I absolutely love this pan. In fact, my double burner stays on my stove top like daily. It gets cleaned and it goes back to my stovetop. So again, number one reason why people book a party is for this bad boy right here. So our pan feels nice and hot. And now our peppers we're only going to put on the second half, and the reason for that is because they don't need to cook as long. So we're going to use our magic tongs here. So you simply squeeze and they open, and if you turn them over the other way and squeeze, they close. Voila, right? Super easy to use. You're not having to use your hip or your mouth to open them, right? How many of you trying to, you're handling something and you're trying to get them open and you've got that little thing there, so don't have to worry about that with ours. So now we're going to take our chicken out, right out of our bagging, lift our press up, put it on the trivet. We're going to put our first chicken breast down, and our second chicken breast. Now the press goes on top. Remember what I said, because the press is preheated, we start cooking the top at the same time we're cooking the bottom. So let's go ahead and get our third chicken breast on. You can see that's the nice smoky barbecue rub all over that. I mean, it's gorgeous. And then our peppers, like I said, will go on the back. So we've got that one cooking. Let me check on our little button over here. So I can feel it's getting nice and bubbly inside. One thing I want to point out about the quick cooker is that our steam release valve is actually away from the button. So when you have to hit that button to release the steam, you don't have to worry about burning yourself. We also have our handles are on the bottom of the quick cooker, so it's much easier to carry. And if you store it in a cabinet and you have to lift it, much easier to do that as well. Okay, so our peppers are ready. I do want to show you this really, really cool product. It's not necessarily used in our demo tonight, but I use this thing all the time, so I just have to show you. We're going to go back to our cornmore. This product here is called the Quick Slice. Now you can use this for olives, mushrooms, hard-boiled eggs, strawberries, cheese, kiwi, bananas. There's just so much you can do with it. So here's your first piece here, and then here's the base. And so we're going to come in here, we're going to take our stems out of our strawberries really quick. Just that fast. Look at that. No wasted strawberry. Now my son takes strawberries to lunch every day in his lunch, so we're just going to go ahead and get these prepped for tomorrow. And we're going to slice them. So it is called the Quick Slice. This is one of those products that I use literally on a daily basis in my kitchen. Love it. Love this thing. So we simply are just going to line them up right here. Just like this. So you guys can see that. Hang on a second. Let me get my camera back. Okay, so just like this, lined up. And then we line up the handle like this. See if you guys can make sure you see that. Line up the handle. We push down. And I am doing this one-handed, so it is actually kind of easy. And voila, we have sliced strawberries just that fast. Isn't that crazy? I mean, so imagine, I know some of you own like the Egg Slicer Plus. So imagine everything you can do with that, plus more, but you can do more quantity at one time. So that's one reason I just love the Quick Slice, because you can just do so much more. So we have literally just about a minute and a half left on flipping this before we flip this chicken and add the peppers there. We are going to go ahead and open up our corn, because the kiddos will be eating corn with their barbecue grilled chicken and their mashed sweet potatoes. So our can opener, by far the best one on the market. You simply just set it right on top of the can. You start turning. It grabs the can, so you don't even have to keep your hand clutched. So if you own one of these and you're watching, do a shout out, because you know you love this. All right, so we're going to go around one time. You're going to either hear a click or feel that pressure give like I just felt. We're going to go the opposite direction. That releases it from the top. Let's do our second can. We're going to grab it, go around one time. Feel that release or hear that little sound, just like there, and we'll go the opposite direction. And now we take our little bird's beak that's right here on the side. I don't know if y'all can see that there. And we're gonna grab the lid, and voila, that's easy. Super, super easy. Now tonight we're just gonna actually steam our corn in the rice cooker plus. So this also serves as a 3-quart micro cooker, and it's also a rice cooker. So very handy. It does rice in 15 minutes on your high setting in your microwave. Use this thing all the time. This is also that wonderful famous product that does lava cakes in 8 minutes in the microwave. So pretty neat product to have on hand. I'm going to throw in some sliced butter here. Right in there, and we're going to put this in the microwave just for 5 minutes. So we're going to secure the handles, and I'll be right back. So all that's literally doing is just heating up the corn, right? Because it was canned corn. Now, what I've done here is our rock crock. We're going to pause for a moment because it is time to flip our chicken. So, throw back to our little handy magic tongs. I'm going to lift up our press. Now, I am putting it on our trivet because we don't want to, you know, burn counters or anything like that. And so I'm going to flip our first chicken breast, which as you can see here is just beautifully grilled. Look at that. I mean, gorgeous. In a matter of minutes. If you're tired, and look at this, right? Same color as the other one, just gorgeous. If you are tired of your dinners taking forever to cook, you have got to invest in this. And this is such a great way to do it, is by having a party, okay? And whether you want me to come to your house and do a cooking show, I can definitely do that. Or we can do it just like this. If you want to have just a catalog show, you can do that as well. So now we've got our peppers grilling, and we've got our chicken flipped over for the last 3 minutes. All right, so let's move over to the rock crock. This is a line that we came out with just a few years ago that had, again, revolutionary product. It is heat safe to 752 degrees. So if you like to cook on a green egg, it is safe for that. This is our 4-quart Dutch oven. This is the size that I recommend every household having. If you feed an army and you want to go with our larger 8-quart rock crock, that's available as well. It actually fits in my microwave, the big one. But this one here is, I think, a really good all-around size for any kitchen to have. You'll notice, if you're searching online, we do have the 2.5 quart. It's the same diameter as this one. It's just about half as high. Here's my general rule. You can always do 2.5 quarts in a 4-quart, but you can't always do 4 quarts in a 2.5 quart, right? Or actually, you never can. So with that being said, it's worth the $20 difference to go ahead and invest in the one that will do it all, whether it's soups, it's stews. You can do corn on the cob in this in your microwave. This works on the stovetop. It works in the oven. It works under the broiler. Microwave, barbecue pit. It's dishwasher safe. And now we actually offer a slow cooker base. So if you wanted to turn this into a crock pot, you could. You just, if you already have the rock crock, invest in the slow cooker base, turns it into a crock pot. So this is literally an everywhere in the kitchen device right here. So this cooking vessel will do what you need. Now what I have in here this evening is I've gone ahead and mixed up my cornbread batter. So we're having barbecue grilled chicken, we're having mashed sweet potatoes, we're going to have corn, and we're going to have cornbread tonight. And then we're also going to make dessert here. So that's coming very shortly. So as you can see here, I've got my cornbread batter. Now because I'm doing it in the microwave, anytime I do like cakes and stuff, I like to add a little sour cream or a little pudding. It just really helps it stay moist. That's all it is. So I used about a 1/4 cup of sour cream, that was it. And this is Jiffy brand. So I've got the cornbread mix, I've got the egg, I've got the milk, and then a little bit of sour cream. So once our corn comes out, we're going to throw this in and cook this for 5 minutes as well. So you can see how this would be a really, really fast dinner for you, right? Again, like I said, if you invest in your kitchen, this really could make a huge difference in how your family eats. The money that goes out when you're spending money on eating out, right? I mean, just what a difference having the right product in your kitchen can make. And not just the right product, but somebody to guide you to use that product. And that's what Pampered Chef Consultants are here to do. So I'm going to set this aside and wait for our corn to finish. And we don't have very much longer, just about 30 seconds or so on our corn steaming. So our chicken is actually done. Isn't that crazy? That fast. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the chicken off. and I want to show you what it looks like. So look at this. In fact, I probably left it on about 30 seconds too long, but it's got those nice, beautiful grill marks. If you can see this, it's dripping. So we have not overcooked our chicken. It's not going to be dried out. I mean, it's just beautiful. And this chicken breast looks exactly the same as the first chicken breast. So again, goes back to that even heat distribution on our pans. All right, so our third one there. We've got our peppers. I'm going to flip them and grill these just for a couple more minutes. So I want them to be just a little softer. Just like that. Okay. And got our burner off here. Okay, so now we're moving to the waffle pan. Check this thing out. This is what I was talking about. Has been the big seller since it came out. What a fun product. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start preheating it because you do need to preheat it just for a few minutes. And so I'm going to put it on about a medium setting. And let's see. So I'm going to put mine on a 6 because it's just, like I said, a regular electric stove. You do need to grease it a little bit before you use it, so I've already done that. But we need to mix the batter, right? So we are making red velvet waffle puffs. So I'm using a red velvet, basically it's a red velvet cake mix. It's Martha White. It's in the bag. It makes 12 cupcakes typically, but we are going to use it to make waffle puffs. I've actually made this before, and they are so good. And along with our waffle puffs, we are actually going to also be making homemade whipped cream to go with it. So now you'll notice here's the base that we're going to be mixing in, and then we have the bottom to the base, right, as it's standing up. And then you have this, and I want to show you this. So this is what's going to dispense it. But right now we need to take that off because we want to mix. So this is called the new batter mixer and dispenser. So think about it. You no longer have to get a bowl dirty. You don't have to get a spoon out. You don't have to get a scraper out. This is going to do it all for you. It's going to mix it. You're going to add this one piece back on, and then you're going to dispense it. So if you're doing waffles, if you're doing cupcakes, you can do them in a cupcake pan. You can do them in a brownie pan. I mean, think of everything you put batter in. Well, there you go, right? Our new waffle puff pan. So with that being said, the rule with this one is you want to do your liquids first, right? So we're going to go ahead and add in our water and our 1/4 cup of oil and 1 egg. So voila, right, on that one. If you guys know, I don't know if you can zoom in or not when you're watching, but we have 7 minutes left on our sweet potatoes. So take our package. Now we put in the dry ingredients. This actually mixes so fast. We went camping over spring break, and of course I took this because, you know, if you go camping and you're working in a travel trailer or an RV, you don't always have as much room, right, as you do in your normal kitchen. So I took this because I knew I would need to be able to save some space while I was making breakfast. And man, boy, did it make a difference. So look at this. So all I'm doing is mixing it. It's so fast. In fact, the first couple times I used it, I had to like double check because I'm like, is it really already mixed? Really? Already mixed? And the answer is yes, it's already mixed. So some of you may actually still be stirring in your bowl, right? But you take this off and I will show you. Look at that. Already mixed. I mean, crazy how fast that was, right? So we wipe this off so I can show you in there. I don't want to pour anything out. And this is at this point is where you're going to take this tool right here and simply just place it on the bottom and then right there. Now it's time to dispense. You'll notice on the side of this that you have 3 settings. So you could do, if you want to pour out a lot, so if, like for instance, if you're doing like cupcakes, pancakes, you can. Or if you don't want to do a lot, you will need to do like a little bit of amount at one time, then we have the smaller settings. So you kind of have a little bit more, and then a lot, right? So because we're using the waffle puff pan, we want to go ahead and put it on a large setting so we can just go fill it up even faster. And so while that's there, I need to get my peppers off. And our corn is done, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. we're going to take our rock crock now, and we're going to go ahead and put this in the microwave for 5 minutes. Okay, so our cornbread's cooking. We've got this pan here preheated, so it feels like it's ready to go. It literally only takes just a few minutes to do it. And this is ready to dispense. So we're going to lift up the top of our pan. It's very easy to clean, actually, too. I was a little worried about that because of all the little bubble spots, but very, very easy to clean. I don't need to take the top off. I need to take the bottom off, right? So here we go. And we literally are just going to squirt this right into the pan. It's just this simple. And one thing I discovered using this particular batter is that I can get 3 of these red velvet waffle puff cakes, is what we're going to call them. Kind of a long name, but hey, it works, right? 3 of them out of one of these packages. So you could, what we'll do tonight is, you always want to put the base on because you don't want the batter to drip through the little pressure hole. So now that I've got the holes filled here, so we'll walk over and show you. See that? So there we are, right there. And now we put the lid down, and we're going to go ahead and flip. So just that easy. Y'all can see right there, right here, and then you can see my chickens over there too. So, hey baby. Okay, so we've got our waffle puff cooking. Our cornbread's in the microwave. We're not far from being done, actually. And I'm going to go ahead and make the homemade whipped cream that will go on our waffle puffs. Now, for those of you that don't have the whipped cream maker, write it down. It's one of those things that I promise you, you have to have in your kitchen. You have to. When this thing came out, it sold like crazy because it makes homemade whipped cream in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. You can't even make home whipped cream that fast with a hand mixer or a stand-up mixer or with a whisk in your bowl, right? The homemade whipped cream maker not only does whipped cream, but it does homemade butter. Did you know the only difference between homemade whipped cream and homemade butter is the temperature of the heavy whipping cream? I didn't actually realize that. I've learned so much from this business. So, it also will do homemade sour cream, homemade mayonnaise, homemade mousse. It does meringue. So, for $25, this is definitely worth having right there in your kitchen. So, it has a fill line here about halfway up. So we're just simply taking our top off. We're going to fill it up to the fill line. We're going to add a little powdered sugar, probably a lot of powdered sugar actually, and some vanilla. So here's our vanilla and our powdered sugar. A couple tablespoons of that. The lid goes on. And we just start whipping for 30 seconds. Now, once I whip this up, I'm going to flip the waffle puff pan because it will be almost done. Usually 2 to 3 minutes per side on the waffle puffs. I have, with this waffle puff pan, it's not just about waffles, let me tell you. I've made chicken quesadillas in it. I've made cherry pies, chocolate caramel pies, regular waffles, obviously, cake mix in here. You could do brownie mix in here. You could do grilled ham and cheeses in here, regular grilled cheese sandwiches. One of the things my middle son is one of his favorites that comes out of it is stuffed pizza. Because I take string cheese, I use the quick slice, I cut that string cheese in little circles, fill each bubble, right? I have a tortilla on the bottom, an uncooked tortilla shell on the bottom, fill the little bubble holes with the cheese, and then lay pepperonis on it, put another uncooked tortilla on top, and we have stuffed pizza in a matter of minutes. It is one of my kids' favorite things to eat. So this pan is a fun pan. It's one of those things your kids are gonna love, and you are going to love using it. We had a blast the first night. We just went to town with all kinds of stuff here, experimenting with it. And, you hear that beeping? Our sweet potatoes are done. Look at this, right here. Check it out. Homemade whipped cream in a matter of seconds. Less than a minute. Look at this. I mean, isn't that crazy? So, is this worth having in your kitchen? I think so. All right. So we're going to set that aside and get it ready for our dessert. Now we're going to go ahead and flip our waffle puff here. Give this just a couple of more minutes. In fact, I'm going to lift it, maybe kind of check it. Yep, so we've got just a couple more minutes on that. And now we're going to take the lid off. We do need to go ahead and release the steam. So this is where it's important that your steam release button is away from the steam release valve so you're not burning yourself. So we just push this button like that. The steam is going to come up. We're going to wait for that to finish. And while that's finishing, I'm going to go ahead and chop up our sweet peppers. So we're going to use our food processor to chop up our sweet peppers. So I'm simply just going to take them and throw them right in here. So they're nice and cooked. So they're going to be really soft. And they're a little hot. Not going to lie. Okay. So how many of you raise your hand or give me a shout out on the comments if you are familiar with the food chopper, right? Kind of the stress reliever they call it. Makes all the noise when you're chopping your food. This came out just a couple years after I started, actually. I've been doing this about 8.5 years. So, excuse me, with that said, right here, this will do everything the food chopper does, plus more. It's called the food processor, manual food processor. It does guacamole, chicken salad. It chops just onion, just bell pepper. I've even chopped as little as 2 garlic cloves in here before. So if you're looking for that time-saving product for chopping, this is it right here. Manual food processor. Hope you're taking really good notes. Our lid goes on. We just pump the handle, and you can see in a matter of seconds, these peppers will be nice and chopped. And I'm just going to use this to spread over the top of our chicken breast. It's going to have a really nice complementary flavor to the smoky barbecue rub that we put on it. And with that steam coming off of those sweet potatoes, I can smell the apple cider that we put in them. They smell delicious. But look at this. Look how fast it chopped those sweet peppers. I mean, super fast. And it's even hot in there, doesn't affect the bowl. So, nice topping for our chicken breast. Go ahead and check our waffle puff here and see how we're looking, okay? Flip it. Let's check the other side. This is just, I think we're starting to come apart here, so give it just a minute. And I do want to show you guys these things, because these are salad choppers, #1 selling product. #1 selling product. So I'm just going to take one chicken breast, because one of my kids likes to actually eat this chicken with a spoon. So we're going to chop it up. So if you have little children, you need to chop their food. This is great for that. This is also great for cutting their pasta up. But you can see what I'm doing here. It's super fast. So if you need to do, like for chicken salad, you need to do pulled pork. This is great for that. If you need to chop up brisket, you can use these for that. Lifetime guarantee. They're dishwasher safe. But how fast is this when it comes to cutting up chicken breasts? So if you're doing like a grilled chicken, you know, on top of salad, this is what you're definitely going to want. But look at that, how fast that was. I mean, mind-blowing, right? Crazy. All right, so we're going to set that aside as well. And let's see how our waffle puff is looking. There we go. Got a little messy. I think I overdid the batter a little bit. I guess I was all excited about it. But, let's see. You know what I like to do sometimes is just take the top off, like this, and flip. Just like that. Of course, it's not going to cooperate with me tonight, is it? No, that's why we're called pampered chefs, not perfect chefs. So, get the rest of that out. Get this other side out as well. I promise you this pan is amazing. In fact, I'll post pictures with all the other stuff that we've done to it, but essentially it comes out looking like this. This is not as pretty as it normally comes out, but I will post pictures. So it's just being a little, I guess, testy with me this evening. So, but this is, again, like I said, one of the neatest products that we've ever come out with. And I demoed it at a party a couple weeks ago. Everybody there bought one because we did cinnamon rolls. I actually took the cinnamon roll dough and put it into it and came out with one great big cinnamon roll puff. It was just the neatest thing. And that was the same night that I actually took tortilla dough and did chocolate chips and caramel sauce inside. I mean, there's the possibilities are limitless with this thing. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and mash up our sweet potatoes. So we're just simply going to turn. It will automatically go to a warm setting, by the way. So even if you walk away and you're busy doing something and it stops cooking, it will automatically go to a warm setting. So we're just going to lift and set our lid aside. And I know one of the things that Jamie put out there was the mix-in shop for hamburger meat, chorizo, for breaking it up nicely in your frying pan. This is another must-have, but I like to use it on my mashed potatoes, my mashed sweet potatoes, my guacamole. So again, lots of other things if you're breaking up cauliflower after you've steamed it, so for like mashed cauliflower. So here we go, just simply breaking up our sweet potatoes and getting them nice and mashed. And I will probably add just a little bit more butter and a little heavy whipping cream once they cool just a little bit and give them a nice fluffy texture. But 10 minutes, 10 minutes. That was three, let's see, 1, 2, 3 massive sized sweet potatoes. 10 minutes and we've got mashed sweet potatoes. In fact, let me bring the pan over and show you. Look at that. Mashed sweet potatoes. Can y'all see that there? I mean, that's just incredible, right? Look at that. Before I pour them all over the countertop. Okay, so let me go over some specials with you guys, because every single month with Pampered Chef, when you spend $75 before shipping and tax and you're purchasing product, you get to choose something as a guest special for free. So this month with Pampered Chef, when you spend $75 before shipping and tax, you can choose either the mini mix-in scraper, the skinny mini skinny scraper, or the dual-sided cleaning brush. This goes great with the double burner grill pan. It gets inside those grooves beautifully. This fits inside the food processor great, and this one also fits inside that whipped cream maker really nicely as well. And for those of you who've never been to one of my live, like in-home cooking shows, I usually bring a $100 grab bag with me, so when my customers spend $100, they should get to take something home with them that night for free. But obviously, because we're not face-to-face, you can't do that. However, if you're watching this and you place an order with your party, and you spend $100 before shipping and tax, not only will you get one of these for free that you get to choose, but let me know which rub you want for free, and I'll add that to your order, okay? So that's your little gift from me when you spend $100 before shipping and tax. If you're not sure what link to use, just comment below the video that you're watching, and I'll be happy to put in the ordering link there. Now, let's go grab our cornbread. And this is one of those things that's just, like I said, the Rock really is an incredible product. But in 5 minutes, we made a batch of cornbread. That fast. Incredible, isn't that? I mean, just incredible. So, again, we didn't turn our oven on at all tonight. And we made cake, we made cornbread, we grilled chicken, we made sweet potatoes. So we got a lot done in 45 minutes while I'm talking. So can you imagine if you were just in your kitchen getting it done and not having to worry about talking and really explaining all the product, how fast your dinner, this would have been a 20-minute dinner in our house. So again, that's the whole purpose of this product, and why I like to show it to you is because it can save you a ton of time. It can save you a ton of money. If you choose to invest in your kitchen, I'll show you the path to using this product. Now, if you're watching this and you're like, Tenille, I want it all. Well, that's why you have a party. Whether it's a party like this, where I just stand in my kitchen and your friends watch the video, or I come to your house and I do a live cooking show for you. Now, if you're watching from a different state, I'm not so sure that I could do that, but I'm happy to do it this way for you. If you just want to hand out some catalogs and collect orders that way, that's okay too. I do catalog shows, I do live Facebook shows, and then I also do the in-home cooking shows. We do fundraisers, we do bridal showers, so there are so many ways to get this product, especially bridal showers. If you know somebody getting married, this is how they stock up. This is a great way for a new couple to get really good quality product in their kitchen right from the get-go, right? So, happy kitchen, happy life, right? Is that how it goes? So, okay, anyway, if you're interested in booking a party, your hostess actually will receive a 50% off item at your show. So you already have an order for your party. Imagine that. Booking a party, you know you've already got an order, right? And if your hostess gets 3 bookings off of this evening, she is actually going to receive our whipped cream maker for free at her 3rd booking. So, you know, help her out. She'll help you out. Everybody helps everybody out, and we're all going to have a great time, right? So, we are getting ready to actually have dinner now. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope to hear from you. If you have questions, if you have comments, whatever you need, put it in the comment section. I'll make sure that we get it answered or get it attended to. And again, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. See you later.